I've been doing active shooter survival training for many years, but for Berkeley PD, we don't necessarily promote that we do this training. It's always by request.
We train for fire, we train for earthquake. When you look at the newspaper, I mean, yes, there are earthquakes, but with an incredible frequency, people were being shot. And it really bothered me that I knew pretty good and well that if I was in the middle of an active shooter, I'm not sure I would know what to do.
What do you do if you're at the scene of an active shooter event before the police get there? So we know that 40% of the time, the event is over before the police even arrive. 10 to 15 minutes is the average length of an active shooter event. The police are obviously going to arrive and try to intervene, but people need to understand what they can do to save themselves and help other people before the police get there.
Is someone medically trained in here?
I'm medically trained.
Okay, can you help those people? Remember, everybody stay quiet. Stay really quiet.
For the public, it's just really important for them to understand that if they're at the scene of an active shooter event, if they can get out, they just need to get out. So that is the run aspect. And if they can't get out, then they should find some place to barricade, some place to hide, and try to isolate themselves from the shooter. So turn off their cell phones, make it dark in that room, be quiet. If you've tried to run and you can't, and you've tried to barricade, but the shooter is still able to access your location, that you may want to consider defending yourself.
That's a police officer. The police are here.
This was a class in 2 parts. For the first part, which is a lecture that was done a month ago, we had decent attendance. Although when I first announced it, I got a lot of community blowback. This class clearly is encouraging the militarization of the police. This class is clearly encouraging fascism. This class is too triggering. And then this time, it was even worse. We didn't get the kind of negative blowback we did the first time, but what we did get was an incredibly low turnout. I think people were stunned by the fact that the #1 story on the news last night was 10 souls lost in Texas. And then the day before that, there's another school shooting. It's overwhelming and it's scary, but guess what? If an earthquake happens, that doesn't mean we should respond to it by avoiding classes on how to survive an earthquake. We're not about training professional rescuers. We're about giving ordinary people a few very, 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 very basic skills that anyone can learn that will keep them alive and allow them to keep others alive.
But what I'll do is just squeeze her hand, and the universal response is she's going to squeeze my hand back.
I try to take as many of the emergency preparedness classes as I can because I want to learn what I need to do. Today in our debriefings, everybody said by the 3rd drill we did, I knew what to do, and that's the objective.
We're in a country of 300 million people and 300 million guns. We need to have this conversation and we need to get that information out to people. We know for certain that the frequency of active shooter events is increasing and they're totally random, so it could affect any one of us.